My earliest memories are from this place because I was brought here as a baby and stayed here with my grandparents during the school holidays when my mother worked part-time in the mornings. And I remember the renovations going on the cottages here. They seem to be starting from either end and working into the middle, which is why my grandparents didn't move out, I think, until 1970, when I was about 8. And this was a boy's paradise, being a building site, and I was allowed free rein around here, and used to maybe get under the builders' feet. I do remember when they started renovating 41, they were taking the tiles off the roof here, and they had a chute made of planks to slide the tiles down to preserve them. And out of one of these windows there was a lip on the planks that kept sticking, and I had a stick. Builders gave me a stick to prod them over this lip so they didn't break. And also I remember them taking the beams that were rotten out and to the field at the back of the abbey, where we had a huge bonfire, so big that in the end the beams were going on with a bulldozer, so a massive bonfire. The cottages have changed quite a lot now, obviously. The house here was the old lady we always knew as Birdie. She had a tap that was on the outside. That was it. That was her only running water. My grandparents at 41, they were quite posh. They had their own private loo, but that was the other side of the yard where we are here now. It was about towards the end of the garden as it is now. And the kitchen was there, and on to the left was their outside privy. All the other cottages, the loos, were in what is now the secret garden. And I do remember the layout of the house is very similar to how the office is now. It all seemed a lot bigger to me then because I was just a small boy. Coming back now, it looks tiny. It's just so pleasant here. It really is a beautiful place to be, and it's nice to see the merchant's house being used. I remember it as it was being restored, because that was one of the last ones to be done, and I was in my early teens while they were doing that, so I remember that one quite vividly. And now it's fully done, and with us being in there populating it, really bringing it to life, it's lovely. It's nice to see it's come into its own now, rather than just being a static display sort of thing. We are called the Walsingham Pilgrims, and we decided to be a pilgrimage because that's a catch-all. Anybody from any walk of life could be on a pilgrimage. So you could be a military man, you could be a pub keeper or whatever. You're going to go on your pilgrimage. And you go in as a group for security. So that really gives us a wide spectrum of people that we can portray. Personally, I do the military archery, and that's what I bring to the group. I'm just learning more and more about the domestic life. So yeah, we portray 14th century living, sort of mid 14th century, prior to the Black Death. Hence the long cots and single hoes.